Yo, 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 yo. What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Welcome back to our live stream here on Twitch. I'm your humble host, Fan Freak, aka Moist Master Flex. We're back in it. Here, I'll just show you real quick. This is the. Typically, I put on just like this thing from YouTube. It's called Kush Sessions. KUSH Sessions. Yeah, they have some pretty sick liquid DMB mixes on there. But any hoops. Back in it. Yeah, welcome back, guys. Hope you had a good weekend. You guys had a good Monday, good start to the week. I had a pretty chill weekend for once. I didn't have any shows. I got to stay in and work on tunes. Yeah, pretty good weekend. And then I had barbecue yesterday. And I'm back in it today. Yeah, let's dive into these tunes here. We have our Thick Freak Friends compilation that came out in June. Yes, Grillmaster Flex indeed. Loving You, that's a free download on 3000 Deep. We got Yap from the Man's Tombs. On Thick Freakness, we got Shadow Work. That's out right now. Whoops. Shadow. Is it Shadow? Yeah, there you go. Shadow. Shadow Work, that's out now. On Thick Freakness, we got Activator from Tubalo. Very thick. UK garage, UK bass type tune. My Friend? We got my remix of Rhiannon Rose, My Friend, out on 3000 Bass. We got Fresh Cut Freaks coming out this Friday. A bunch of newcomers to the label. And then we have Newsflash from myself, Chuck Shadow, and Lexi on Gold Digger. With those last two, please go pre-save. With all the other ones, if you're keen, go check those out. Those are all out now. We got some shows coming up. We got one this Friday. Got a free warehouse party this Friday in DTLA. Sorry. Young Andrew Fox is texting me right now. Yeah, we have our after hours this Friday. I think I put it in here already. Nope, I didn't put it in here. I guess I have to update this. But yeah, we're doing a warehouse party this Friday in downtown LA. Apothega, Blast You, myself, Lex Looper, and Scott's brand new. Gonna be a thick time. And then next weekend, I'm gonna be in Vancouver with Average Citizens, Rhiannon Rose, and yeah, I think we're doing both a daytime event and we might be doing an after hours too. But yeah, definitely looking forward to being back in Canada. But my first time in Vancouver, but second time in Canada. Then we have our sponsor here, Eargasms. If you guys need earplugs for shows, Eargasm. If you guys need earplugs for shows, definitely go cop some. Use code Phantom10 for 10% off at eargasm.com. Mr. Thick Wide. Yeah. Let's dive into the thick of things here. Yeah, young Eric, you said that you submitted basically the same version of the track, but the second link that you sent me didn't work, so I have the first one loaded up here. I don't know if that's what you still want to do. I can play the first submission that you have, but the second link was broken, so I can't actually play the second one that you wanted me to. Just FYI. No, the first one actually works. Yeah, this is a really thick waveform though. I don't know if this is what you wanted. I mean, just FYI, this is what I have. The other one that you sent me doesn't work. Let's just check this. Yeah, it's just silence, I guess. Yeah, just resubmit. Resubmit your link, and I'll put you in back in the queue. So yeah, for those of you who've been here, you guys already know the deal. I take tracks first come first serve as I receive them on the Google form. Right now we only have a queue of about 7 tracks, so this might go pretty quick unless we get some more submissions. If for whatever reason you guys want to skip the line, you're more than welcome to. You just got to use your channel points or submit money on the bottom left there, either Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. The amount is totally up to you. Let's name out the queue here, just so you guys know where you're at. We got Huzzah first. We got Shankstank second. We got Young Eric Mark third. I'm gonna get his new link here in a minute. We got Farron Amjad fourth. Young Spencer Arnold fifth. Young Dice sixth. And Arnold last here, number 7. Thick Burrito Fund. The Thick Burrito Fund indeed. Okay, do we got Huzzah here in the chat? Do we have Huzzah in the chat? Hazza, Huzzah. Huzzah. Huzzah going once. Huzzah going twice. Alright, no huzzah. Up next we have Shankstank. Shankstank, you here in the chat? Say what up. Yes, sir. Okay, let's do it.
Now, in that dream, I felt truly terrified. So as soon as I woke up from the nightmare, in the middle of the night, I ran to my mom. I was crying. I woke her up and I told her about my nightmare. And she would always reassure me of this simple fact that it was just a dream. That the old witch was just part of my dreaming mind. That there was no real physical danger. These were just dreams. And so feeling a bit more reassured and safe, I returned to sleep. But at one particular night, at the exact same nightmare, in that following period, so someone in that arcade on the bar, while still being in the dream.
Nice one. Super sick. Love the sound design here. Love the sound selection. Really cool vocal. It's very I love using a lot of like kind of random cheeky vocals like that too. from just like, you know, interviews or I don't know, like movies, interviews, that kind of stuff. It's kind of fun to mess around with that type of stuff. Um, Using trash multiband and other posts. That's wild. I gotta try that. I think it's tape saturation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Saturate all that shit. Um, yeah, lots of cool stuff going on in this tune. Yeah, I definitely hear an improvement in your sound, Shank Stank. Um, Especially because you've been submitting stuff for quite a while now. Like this is probably like one of the, you know, definitely hear an improvement in your sound, and I think it's fucking awesome. Very nice drum selection. I do think that the snare is actually a good snare, but I think it needs more power. Especially for like dubstep, it needs to kind of just like, like just like crash through the entire mix. It needs to be a little bit more powerful, a little bit more huevos, más huevos, más fuerte, más huevos. It needs to cut through that mix a little bit more. Um, Very nice pads. I do dig a lot of the sounds he picked. A lot of the sound design is really cool in here. Very interesting vocals. It's cool that they start out kind of like really dry, and then over time through that build up, they start to get a little bit more. You add in some more effects, some more layers, so it starts to get a little bit more um, wonky and kind of like dreamy almost. So it very much so kind of fits within the theme that you're kind of going for here, which is really cool. I did put here that we need more silence in the pre-drop because it kind of just feels like your build breaks your break build section kind of just like rolls into your drop. So we need that kind of really big separation right before the drop, just so that we get like that kind of dive off the cliff, you know, and it actually feels like a drop, as opposed to kind of just like rolling in. Yeah, automation's a very good one. Also, just kind of just like subtractive um, production. So basically, just like deleting stuff and just kind of just see where, you know, instead of just like filling every single space. Sometimes it's kind of good to kind of just like delete stuff and then just see if like that, especially with like bass music too. You kind of want some more spaces and stuff, just so that, you know, you got kind of get a little bit more swing, kind of get a little bit more movement and stuff. Um, so yeah, definitely something to consider there for your pre-drop. I'm loving the kick and the sub on the drop. It's very nice. It's definitely what you want to hear from this style of music. Really cool sound design. I'm really digging a lot of the really cool like mid-bass stuff you got going on here. I would have liked to hear a little bit more like ear candy stuff and fills, like drum fills and stuff, or even like mid-bass fills. Again, you could play around with automation on that. I think that would be really a really good idea. And then drum fills, of course, and then like little pockets of like ear candies and stuff. Also, your second break and build could use a little bit more work. I think overall, just like your transitions between sections could use kind of a little bit more, just so that you kind of signal to your listener when things are moving into, say, like your break section, when you're moving into your build section, and then when you're moving into your drop. Again, you can accomplish that pretty easily with like some sound effects, some automation, and then just like throwing in little silent areas just to kind of signal that something else is coming. That second build section could definitely use more tension and energy, just to kind of signal that, you know, we're kind of building up into your second drop here. Because again, like it kind of felt like your break builds are kind of just rolling into your drops, as opposed to like they're kind of being like this build up and then this quick, you know, fall off, like actually feeling like you're dropping off. Last thing I put here is the vocals could probably make a little bit more of an appearance in the drop sections. And again, you know, that goes back to like ear candy. So you can probably use that vocal, like little chops here and there as like ear candy stuff. Or even in like your turnaround sections, just kind of as like a little punctuation, and like a callback to your hook. I think that would work pretty well. That would also kind of help you, cut down on like a lot of like really needless, pointless sample digging. You can kind of just pull from, this really long vocal phrase that you're already having here, and just like pick and choose like little bits and pieces to play around with and add in ear candy. I think that would be a really good idea. But yeah, this is a very strong idea to begin with. It just, just some like little detail work, some arrangement stuff, and adding in more tension into your builds. I think this will be an even better tune. But yeah, definitely a really cool idea. Good job, young Shankstank. Hell yeah. All right. Next up, we got ones from the man's Eric Mark. Got it on Dropbox here instead of SoundCloud. Yeah, no problem, man. Happy to help. Let's give it a listen. Scary Movie too. That's funny. Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah. I think having that one scene from Scream. The first. I guess this is like the intro scene where he's calling Drew Barrymore, and she's like, they're talking about like horror movies and stuff. I think that would actually be a really cool sample to use in here if it fits, because it kind of feels like it fits this theme that you got going on. That's kind of creepy, but but also like someone on the phone and stuff. I feel like it definitely fits that kind of vibe, and it's set this track already kind of sets that tone. But yeah, I digress. I love the sound design here. Love the sound design here. It's really fucking cool. Really cool ear candy. Really nice sound selection overall, both like with the drums as well as like with all the ear candy and all this other stuff too. Really solid drum groove. I'm liking, it just feels really nice. It's really easy to kind of just like dance to, groove to. Feels like something that I would probably hear on like Box of Cats or something. Yeah, I definitely would consider kind of sending them this tune. Once you get it like finished and wrapped up. Yeah, really solid drum groove, really solid arrangement overall, really easy to follow along. Really nice drop. I'm loving all these little kind of like wonky sounds. And this is really cool trill that you have at the end of your phrases. Let me see if I can just play it real quick. It's really cool. Boo boo boo. Yeah, that really cool like little trill at the end of those phrases. Really nice. What else do I got here? Yeah, like really nice layers you got on top. Really nice variations. Yeah, I think really the only thing that this needs is just like a very solid vocal hook. And I think you can very easily accomplish that. I think, if you look at like pretty much the Scream movie, or I like Dice said, you could also look at like scary movies. The spoof versions. I think that would be a really good place to start looking. I think that would fit really, really well here. That's really all this needs is just a solid vocal hook, and it's pretty much good to go. Everything else here sounds fantastic. I wouldn't change anything else here. The butler character. Take my good hand. My germs. Yeah, this is dope. Good job, young Eric Mark. Hell yeah. Nice one, bruv. All right. Do we got Farhan Amjad? Farhan Amjad in the chat. Farhan Amjad. Yeah, Dice, you should just get Serum 2. I mean, it's pretty cool. I don't think it's that expensive either. If I remember correctly, I don't think it's super expensive. Farhan Amjad going once, going twice. Yeah, but I mean, you can buy Serum 2. I don't think it's that expensive, to be honest. Let's see, Serum 2. I think if you own Serum 1... No, it's, why would it take me to Splice? Get out of here. Oh, I guess if you buy it new, it's $250. But I think if you have Serum 1, then I think you can upgrade for cheaper, if I remember correctly. Yeah, actually, you were the first one. You were supposed to be first, but you weren't here, so... we can throw you back into the groove here, for surezies. But yeah, just FYI, if you submit a tune, just make sure just to be in the chat so that I can review your tune ASAP. All right, we got Huzzah, we got Young Spencer Arnold. After that, we got Dice, we got Arnold, we got Our Eyes, and we got We Love Astro. Let's do it.
If I said that this touch could last forever, every moment I'm with you feels like heaven. If I said this is love, would you feel better? Would you feel better? If I said that this touch could last forever, every moment I'm with better, to last forever, 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 to last forever.
Nice one. Yeah, obviously this is still a whip. Feels like quite a short tune here. You got like a break build section to start with. You go into the drop. Then you have a very short second break build, and then into a second drop, or into the beginnings of a second drop. But definitely, I feel like this needs to be developed out further as far as the arrangement goes. It could definitely be a longer track. But that is besides the point. Yeah, really cool idea. Definitely feels more like along the lines of baseline almost, but baseline and like maybe even big room too. Kind of has like a second, kind of has like a mix of the two, like baseline music, UK baseline, and a little bit of like elements of like big room. Yeah, for sure. Really dope vocal. I think the vocal's really sick. Definitely sets a really nice tone for this track. I feel like the build, your first build, could definitely use some more tension in it. It didn't feel like you were building up enough energy to kind of keep the anticipation up for when the drop actually comes in. The drop is cool, but personally, I'm not crazy about the mid bass. I don't know what it is exactly. I think it's because that simple fact of it's hard for me to pinpoint what style this actually is. You know, if it's going in the baseline sort of direction, I think the rest of the track needs to kind of go in that direction as well. If you're going into like a big room direction, I think a lot of the other the samples that you're picking also need to kind of follow that as well. So yeah, you kind of have to decide which direction you're going to in a stylistic kind of standpoint. I also think that the sub could also hit harder. So yeah, definitely need some more beefing up of that sub. The kick is actually nice. I think the kick works really well here. But the sub definitely needs some more power. The vocal is used really well in the drop section, but also there's some difficulty here between, as far as from a mixing standpoint, your mid bass and that vocal are kind of fighting for supremacy. So really, it's just a matter of picking from a mixing standpoint which one you want to kind of stand out more. Whether that be you want to be more mid bass focused, then the vocal kind of has to be a little bit more washed out, maybe like from with a reverb or something, just so it kind of sits in the background a little bit more. And I'm just talking about the drop sections. I think in the break sections, it's good to have the vocal more forward. But in the drops, I think if you're gonna kind of prioritize your mid bass, your vocal kind of needs to sit a little bit further in the back. Unless you want to do it the opposite way. If you want your vocal to be more forward in the drop section, then I think your mid bass needs to be a little bit more muted, or you need to pick a different sound so it's not fighting with the vocal. So yeah, really it just comes down to prioritization within your mix. Yeah, there's a Google form there if you want to submit a tune. And then as far as the arrangement goes, I think the intro, the first break and the first build and the drop section, the first drop section are a really nice length. I wouldn't change that. Your second break build is extremely short. I think that needs to be basically lengthened out. At the bare minimum, I would make it probably like 24 bars. Especially because your first break build is so long. I would probably make it at least similar length as the first one. Maybe, maybe even longer by another 8 bars or something. And then obviously you need to finish up the second drop. And then with the second drop, I would definitely put in some nice variations. Either swap out the mid bass sound. So you could still play the same melody, but swap out the mid bass sound. You could also keep the same mid bass sound and then swap up the melody. So maybe it's a little bit more of a complex melody. Or you can mess around with like a fake drop. You can mess around with doing some halftime stuff, some breakbeat stuff. It's kind of just up to you where you want to take the second drop. But yeah, definitely try to do some variation on your second drop so it doesn't feel like a copy pasta. Obviously, this is very early on in your idea, so you're kind of probably stewing on that, figuring out where you want to go. But yeah, I definitely recommend adding in some variation on the second drop. Hell yeah. Mortal Beats. Is your YouTube link, is it an unreleased track? Because I'm only taking unreleased music in this stream. If you have a track that's already released, and which I'm assuming it is if you have it on YouTube. Yeah, so I only take unreleased music, so if you have unreleased music, say on SoundCloud or Dropbox, that would be ideal. But I can't really take already released music because I can't really give feedback on already released music. It doesn't really make sense. Yeah, and Dice is actually dropping some nice little tidbits there too. You could definitely use some filtering if you want to, set some prioritization in your mix down. Filtering is also a good idea. Yeah, just another thing that you could kind of play around with. But yeah, good job, huzzah! Hell yeah! Nice one, bruv. All right, we got young Spencer Arnold in the chat. Spencer Arnold, ayo, let's do it.
I think I wanna. I think I wanna. I think I wanna. I think I go fast, pick up the pace. Slow down, don't lose your place. On the way, keep up the chase. Party, rat race. Go fast.
think I wanna.
Go fast. I think I wanna go fast. I think I wanna go fast. I think I wanna go fast. Rat race. Go fast. I think I wanna go fast. I think I wanna go fast. Pick up the pace. Slow down. Don't lose your place. In the lead. Keep up the chase. Party. Rat race. Go fast. Pick up the pace. Slow down. Don't lose your place. In the lead. Keep up the chase. Party. Rat race. Go fast. Pick up the pace. Slow down. Don't lose your place. In the lead. Keep up the chase. Party. Rat race. Go fast. I think I wanna go fast. I think I wanna go fast. I think I wanna go fast. Rat race. Go fast. Pick up the pace. Slow down. Don't lose your place. In the lead. Keep up the chase. Party. Rat race. I think I wanna. I think I wanna.
Nice one, bruv. Yeah, super sick. I mean, it's really cool that this is your vocal too, because you kind of have like this like processing on it that almost makes it sound like a female vocal, but then you definitely have like multiple layers to it. So you can definitely hear like your vocal in the drop section. You can hear your vocal, and then that kind of like higher pitched, almost female sounding vocal on top. It's a really nice, really nice sound. Very nice layering going on there. This is dope. I like it. Very nice low end. Cool vocal and processing. I think the vocal processing is very well done. I do think that the vocal is a little bit loud in the mix, and there might be a little bit too much low mid going on. So yeah, that's just something I think you kind of just need to adjust the balance on that mix with respect to the rest of the elements that are kind of around it. Again, really nice vocal layering in the drop. Love the sound design in the drop. Really solid groove in the drop as well. Very nice low end. Very nice variations. Very solid arrangement overall. In that second break, you started teasing in. I want to say it's almost like an acid bass. I'm gonna just play it again real quick.
Don't lose your place. In the lead. Keep up the chase.
Yeah, you can hear it in the background. It's kind of just like lingering there. But the reality is, like, it was really fucking cool. I was actually slightly disappointed that there wasn't a payoff on that. And I was gonna say that I think you can definitely lengthen your second drop. Right now you only have, I think it's only like 8 bars there. You can definitely make another 16 bar section. Oh no, I think it's like 16 bars there. I think you can make another 16 bar section and then pay off that acid bass in the second half of the drop. I think that would be fucking cool, because I was like really itching to hear that acid bass, and I was like, it didn't come in. What the hell, bro? And you definitely have enough room to lengthen out the second drop for sure. Definitely, I think that would be a really good idea to do that. Other than that, I think the second drop sounds great, because you did like this kind of fake out thing, and I think that sounds fine. It actually sounds pretty good. But I think you should definitely pay off that acid bass, and it would pop off, honestly. That's really the only thing I have. It's really just like the only thing I'm hearing here is maybe just some slight mixing stuff on the vocal. I think the vocal layering itself is and the processing is very nice. I think it's just a matter of balancing it with the rest of the items in here, and then pay off that acid bass in the second drop. So just make the second drop a little bit longer, and throw that acid bass in there and go buck wilds. I think it would be really cool. Yeah, this is a super dope idea. Hell yeah, young Spencer Arnold. Super dope tune here. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, no problem, man. All right, we got Dice here with some. It looks like we got some DMB, huh? Dance Dance Revolution. Ends up making Sad Boy DMB. That's funny. All right, let's give this a listen.
Waste my time away, holding on again. Take my hand and say, maybe I'm a phase, stuck inside my mind.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
One more chance, we could save the day. Hold my hand, we could get away. I'm falling in your eyes. Give me one more night. Waste my time away. Take my hand and say, I'm falling in your eyes. Give me one more night. Stuck inside my mind.
Nice. Yeah, man. I don't think I've ever heard any DMB stuff from you. This is really sick. I was like, nah, I want people to cry. I think this vocal works really well for this track too. Super dope vocal. Really nice energy and tension in the builds. I think overall the arrangement's super solid. I'm actually gonna dive deeper into the arrangement a little bit later in my feedback. I really love the first drop because of how minimal it is. It's basically just, it's very like stripped down. It's just basically just mid bass, sub, kick snare, and that's really it. And it's just, but it's so like powerful and effective, which is really nice. You don't need a whole lot. And it just makes the mix sound way bigger just with having that many minimal elements, and it doesn't lose any of its energy or power either. It just goes, it's like right in front of your face, and it's fire. And then slowly as you go through the drop, you kind of add in more layers and more elements, which is really nice. Really nice sample selection as well as ear candy. I'm loving the fills and the fake outs you got going on here. Really nice variations. Also really nice transitions between sections. It was very seamless. It, didn't feel too wonky or weird. It was very, very easy to follow along. I'm loving the break sections. They're very kind of like mellow and chill with the pianos and all the other elements. It's really nice to kind of just like chill out. I do think that the shakers that you have going on in the break sections though have a little bit too much high end in them, so they start to get a little bit like stabby to the ear. And I think you can easily kind of clean that up, either with a Soothe 2 or a Pro Q3. Really any kind of, I don't think you want to do like a full EQ shelf because that's going to kind of lose a lot of the fidelity of that shaker sound. So you might want to get a little bit more surgical with kind of cleaning up that top end, which is why you want to use a Soothe 2 or Pro Q3. The second drop fake out is dope, but I think what you have going on there is you have a sidechain without any kicks, so it feels a little bit disjointed. I'm gonna play it again just to make sure that I'm hearing what I'm hearing correctly. Yeah, so it definitely feels like there's a sidechain there without any kicks. So it feels like it's like, it's ducking, but there's nothing there to duck it, So you have like a trigger. I know it sounds like you have like you're like an LFO tool or some sort of other means of doing your sidechain. So I would probably remove that sidechain just for that small section, and then bring it back when the kick comes in, or just volume automation. Yeah, I think if you kind of just let that open and breathe, I think that would probably be better. Bum 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 bum. You can even throw on a reverb on there and just like wash it out, and then just pull that back in right before the kick comes in. Wow 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 wow. That would be a nice little trick because it'll feel really big, and then you can just reel everything back in. Reaching for the jack. Okay, I got you. And then I love the rest of this. The drop is fucking sick. The only other thing I was going to say about this track is that I wish both drops were longer. Right now they're only about 16 bars. I think you can probably add on at the very minimum another 8 to both drops, and add in some more variations and stuff. Really, like, I thought the drops were so dope. They just made me want more. So I think it's actually a compliment, to be honest. I think you can add more onto this, and then it'll definitely, still sound pretty fucking good. It already sounds really fucking good. It just made me want more, Catch my drift? I think it would be dope to make the drops a little bit longer. But yeah. Very well done, Dice. Super dope tune. Yeah, no problem, man. All right, we got to skip from Reaching for the Jack. What's Reaching for the Jack? What's your artist name or what's your track? Just so I know which one to skip to. Bum 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 bum. Reaching for the Jack. Same name that's on your Venmo. Okay. Let's see. Let me see real quick. Lazarus Hole. Okay. Dum 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 dum. Okay, got you. You just submitted one like literally right now. This is this the correct one? The correct tune here. Yeah. Okay, so we got Lazarus Hole with the skip. I'm just gonna list out the queue real quick so you guys know where you're at. We got Lazarus Hole up next. After that, we got Arnold. We got Our Eyes. We got We Love Astro, and then Jax and Mortal.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that's a good sign. If it gets stuck in my head, you know that you have something. You know you have something good going on. All right, I'm gonna grab my charger real quick. Because my phone is dying. The boy's phone is dying. All right. All right, I'm not ignoring you. You are number 3 or number 2, I believe. No, number 3. All right. Lazarus Hole, let's do it.
Oh, you know you can't give up. This is not the time to leave it all behind. And we haven't each other. In the sunny sky, you have the bright side. Everybody on the dance floor, shake one, two, three, 4. Oh, you know you can't give up. This is not the time to leave it all behind. And we haven't each other.
Nice one. Yeah, it definitely feels like mid-tempo, honestly. But yeah, you say this is a work in progress. This track feels kind of short, to be honest. I would say the drop sections were kind of short. I would definitely, if you could, definitely, kind of go through and lengthen those out a little bit. I like a lot of the really cool ideas you got going on here, especially the vocal. The vocal is very cool. I think the vocal kind of makes this track. So a couple things. I think the biggest thing here, number one, is arrangement. I think obviously, like I said, the drops could be longer. It feels like those drops are very quick. So we didn't get to like kind of sit with the groove a little as long, and it kind of just went back into another break section. I put here, I would probably high pass the sub and the breaks, just so that when the sub comes in on the drop, it has way more power and it's way more effective. Because when you have all this sub going on in the break section, I guess the best way I could describe it kind of just cheapens the sub experience. When you have so much sub going on in the breaks, you don't really leave that much anticipation for the drops. Because if it's just like, if your sub's at 100, the entire track, you don't have anything to kind of work up to, you know. So if you're at 100 the whole time, you can't really build up to the drop. So yeah, definitely I would probably throw on a high pass filter on the subs just in the break sections, and then when it gets to the drop, obviously you can go full force with the sub. The vocal is super dope. I love the melody on that vocal too. And then the drop is humongous. I think there's a lot of really quite loud elements in this track. So definitely I think the mix kind of needs to be dialed in here, because it's just like it's all like all the way up here. This track is kind of like a sausage. And I would like to hear a little bit more dynamics, especially for mid-tempo. I think having a little bit more space would be very nice, so you can kind of get a little bit more hold of a groove and kind of just like dance along a little bit more. I love the kick, snare, and sub are nice in the drop sections. The drop melody, I feel like it needs to be more consistent. Oh no, you got an ad? Okay. Let me know when the ad is done. Bing bong. All right, you're back. But yes, as I was saying, this waveform's kind of a sausage. So it would be nice to have some dynamics in here, some dynamic range, especially for mid-tempo. You kind of want to have a little bit more space, so you can have a nice groove, a nice feel that you can kind of just dance around with. So definitely try and get some like nice dynamic range in there. Really, that's a lot of that has to do with mixing, kind of just like shortening up some of your samples and stuff like that. I think the drop melody should also stay consistent. It feels like your the first break build is playing this really cool melody with the vocal, and then the drop is playing something completely different. And then again, the second break plays another different melody. So I think in order to kind of tie this whole track together, we need one very strong, consistent melody. And I think the melody you should go with, in my opinion, it's very catchy, is this vocal melody you have right here. If you can get your bass melody to kind of follow this vocal, I think you're gonna have a really, really like hooky, kind of catchy track. I think that melody is very hooky. It's very catchy. If you can kind of incorporate that into your mid bass somehow, in your sub. I know mid tempo is kind of a little bit different, you know, but you can still do it. You can definitely still do it, and it'll definitely kind of carry through the rest of the track, and it'll make everything a lot more seamless and consistent, and you know, very hooky. You know, it'll definitely catch the listener's attention, and they're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you. What else do I have here? You have this Reese come in on the second drop. It's a bit loud. Again, there's a lot of like really kind of quite loud elements here, and that's just gonna come down to mixing this down properly. You're gonna have to go through and kind of just like A and B stuff. A typical process. I don't know if you're like very well versed with mixing, but if you're not, my typical process is I usually start with the kick, get your kick at a really nice level, kick sub, basically mute out the rest of your mix down, just have your kick sub going, make sure that low end is really dialed in, as well as your side chain, and then you can start kind of introducing more elements. You introduce your snare after that, make sure all three of those are kind of playing together really nice. Then you add in your hats, make sure all those are playing really well together. Usually I won't do the musical elements until the very end, so vocal is probably usually the last thing I'll do in a mix down. But yeah, you want to stick with kick, sub, probably your mid bass, and then snare, hats, that kind of stuff, and then kind of build out from there. And just make sure everything's kind of just like playing around with each other very, very well. Oh, you're okay. You're very well versed in mixing. Okay, for sure. So I'm preaching to the choir right now. But yeah, definitely. There's lots of really cool stuff, especially the vocal. I think if you can kind of make the rest of the track kind of cater to the vocal, you'll definitely have a really banging tune here. But yeah, lots of really cool ideas. Definitely keep moving forward with this, and develop this out further. I can definitely see the vision here, and I fucks with it. Good job, Lazarus Hole. Hell yeah. All right, we got Arnold in the chat. Yeah, no problem. Yes, sir, that's me. All right, let's do it. Nice one. Real quick, I gotta go pee. I probably should have done that before I started the track, but real quick. BRB. All right. Hell yeah. What a fucking relief. All right. Back in it. Yeah, this is a dope tune. Super groovy. With both the drum groove as well as the bass line and sub. It sounded very thick. Very nice kick. Kick is definitely huge. Definitely not a bad thing, but I do think you could probably tighten up that kick a little bit more. I think it just has too long of a tail. I would probably shorten it a little bit and just tail it off a little bit so it's a little bit tighter. Because I don't think it needs to be that long, especially with your sub. I think your sub can do a lot more of the leg work. Your kick really just needs to be there to hit the transient, and then your sub can kind of do a lot more of the leg work there on the low end. Very solid snare. I like the snare, I like the hats. Really solid bass groove. Very nice sub. Really cool vocal. I really dig the vocal here, and you did some really cool stuff as far as automation in the builds. So it definitely felt like it was very kind of tense and energetic, building up into the drop. Very well done there. Very nice tension in the build. Solid drop, really cool ear candy. I'm digging a lot of the ear candy. You kind of have to break up some of the repetition. One thing I did note here is I really like the bassline groove, but I think the bassline melody could use a bit of spicing up. It feels like it's quite one note, meaning it's just, it's essentially just the same note playing over and over again, and it stays pretty static. Although I really love the groove, as far as like where you're placing the notes, it feels very nice. It just feels like the melody itself is just very kind of static. It just kind of sits there. So I think it needs a little bit of spicing up on that bassline melody, for sure. Very solid arrangement overall. Really nice layers. I think you added some really cool like synth layers going on. Especially in that second break, you add in some like new sounds on the top end, which is very nice. And then the second drop, I like that you did a little fake out right there on the second drop, which is very nice. The only other thing I put here is that the outro is a bit long, so I might chop a little bit of that, just to trim some of the fat off. You could probably knock this down to like 3 minutes 30 seconds, I think, and it would still be a very effective track, honestly. I think you could trim a little bit of the fat on the intro and outro, but yeah, overall very solid tune, really nice groove, and really cool ear candy and vocal. Hell yeah. Mortal Beats, no, I have not gotten to your track yet, but you are in the queue, my friend. You are in the queue, indeed. Yeah, no problem, man. Let me run through the queue real quick so you guys know where you're at. We got Our Eyes up next, but let me make sure this is working here. Okay, we got Our Eyes up next. We got Wheel of Astro. We got Jax. We got Mortal, and then we got Lith. 5 people in the queue. All right, let's do it. Our Eyes, you're here? Yeah, Our Eyes is here. Ba-ba-ba.
Just another failure, never amount to nothing. I'll break you down. I'm just another alien holding your hand, and I'm lost and I'm lonely. I don't understand. I don't understand. And I'll break you down.
Dude, this is super sick, man. I don't know if you saw my face when the drop came in, but I definitely made an O face. I was like, fuck yeah, man. This is fucking sick. It's obviously a whip. I mean, you only have like the intro break build and then the first drop and kind of like a little bit of a second break. But it's already sounding fantastic. It sounds really fucking good. I love all the pads and the melodies. Very nice. Sound design and sound selection, it's very well done. This vocal is fucking amazing. I don't know where you found this vocal, but it's very nice. One thing that I did note here though, is that there are some pops in the plosives. So the P's, the B's, pa 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 pa. Okay, so it kind of feels like it's almost like spitting. So yeah, just something to be mindful of. To kind of, you can kind of clean up those plosives in the vocal, so that they don't cut through the mix so aggressively. But yeah, other than that, I think the vocal sounds fantastic. I love the teasing of the drop in the build. I think it's very well done. It's fucking fantastic, and I think that's the reason why the payoff was so much better. Is because you did a really good job of teasing in the drop in the build sound.
Don't understand. I don't understand. And I'll break you down.
Oh man, so nice. Yeah, and then the drop is just fantastic. I like what you did on the processing in the drop section. You kind of add a little bit more saturation, and like I guess that's like probably like tape saturation on the vocal, so it has this more this grittiness to it, which is really nice. The drop is super sick. It's like it's kind of minimal, but it's like still in a way it's like really kind of big at the same time, which is really nice. I love the snare. The snare is fucking fantastic. It has this nice pop to it, and it cuts through the mix. It's very easy to hear that snare, which is definitely what you want for this style of music. I think all the elements and the sounds that you picked for the drop are very nice. Everything works really well together. Very nice dynamic range here. Really nice ear candy. Really nice variations going on, and I love the respace towards the end of this first drop. Yeah, I think you're heading in a really fucking great direction already. It kind of seems like you already have like a vision for where you want to take this track. So yeah, I mean, besides those little like mixing things that I mentioned and the vocal, everything else here sounds fantastic. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. And you know, I'm sure you're gonna make an even thicker second drop. This is gonna sound. I think this is gonna sound fucking crazy when it's done. Yeah, good job, Alright, this is super dope. Yeah, no problem. Hell yeah. Alright, we got We Love Astro in the chat. A picture of Chucky here. Bom, bom, bom. We Love Astro. We Love Astro. We Love Astro. All right. Is this? This track is private. Okay. Track's private. This track is private. Okay. We Love Astro. Going once. Going twice. All right. No, We Love Astro. Do we have Jax? Jax in the chat. Jax with Project One. This also looks like a whip. It's only a minute 30 seconds. Jax. Is Jax in the chat? Jax going once. Jax going twice. Alright, no Jax. Oh, it might be quick here. Do we have Mortal? Mortal in the chat. Mortal is here. Cool. All right. We got Mortal up next. Then Lith, Ripcade, Blast, and then Blastex. All right. So if you heard your name, just be sure to stick around and I will get to you shortly. I believe these are going to be the last 4 of the night. Yeah, the lyrics are in the description. Okay, for sure. Awesome.
Adam Morelli turns off the television, swallows some pills. Adam Morelli having a breakdown.
Yeah. I took a lot of them Quaaludes with a bottle of Grey Goose, and I'm talking to Jesus like, who should I pray to? I'm prey to my demons too, gotta keep it moving, I can see the roof. Fuck what the people assuming, I'm having an out-of-body hallucinating. What are you debating? Life is never like a Susan Baker movie. Every day is not a holiday, it is more like a Luis Buñuel and Salvador Dali. Fuck real, I'm keeping it so real. Motherfuck meals, I've been writing my will. Ready to die, I don't wanna give, I don't wanna take, I don't wanna love, I don't wanna hate, I don't wanna live, I don't wanna pray, I don't wanna. These are the notes of a schizophrenic insomniac, on gin and tonic and cognac. Skeletons of my personalities hopping out of my cranium. I'm talking to her and someone else, so baby, I'm sorry. Gotta confess, what the fuck's this drug test? I love it when you get so angry, and you love it when I see you undress. Chronicles of a lonely soul, your legs my only hope. I don't wanna die in the real world, so keep me in you, let's overdose. Yeah. Psychology can't explain this dichotomy or duality. No way, who knows? Anyways, don't tell mama that I had a couple snowflakes in my nose on occasion. My body blazing, but I'm feeling cold. Frostbit, the TV's on. I don't even know what I'm watching. I know that I'm not even blinking or thinking. My static is full of images of people with no faces, all naked with their toes shaking and walking in puddles of blood. I shake my eyebrows off. This might be my downfall. It's like I'm in a Cronenberg universe with satanic women worshiping Lucifer. Cause my God. Right then, Eve comes up to me to bite my neck. Then she says,
Hey Adam, like this apple. Honey, I think you're gonna like my taste.
Right then I wipe my face and I end up in a lonely room where I see no tomorrows and shattered pieces of broken bottles. Having dreams of nasty scenes. Anarchy is not in staccato. In staccato. No, hallelujah, paranoia, I'm the Judas.
To my Jesus,
I'm the Brutus.
to my Caesar,
I'm a super non-believer.
and all the evil.
Am I breathing? Oh, Eureka. Should've died already. Should've died already. Having a vision, looking in the mirror, looking at a fucking jester, getting ready. Red balloons, so majestic. All the gestures, off a broken mess with a headache. But everything is copacetic.
Get it?
Fuck it. My brain is an aquarium in oblivion and delirium. I don't know. No. Maybe I don't really wanna know. Maybe I don't wanna let go. I don't even think I wanna stay. I can never make up my mind up in a hell and back. Guess I need a better half. I'ma put her on a pedestal. still say ciao Bella, we would laugh like
Adam picks himself up off the ground, wipes the blood off his face and hands, and continues watching television. A 15-minute short film called Storms has just started.
Hell yeah, that was sick. Dude, this is super dope. Are you the producer on this, or are you the vocalist on this, or are you both? I don't know. Because either way, it sounds fucking fantastic. Oh, you're both? That's fucking sick, dude. Because yeah, this track sounds absolutely fantastic. How long have you been doing this? This is part of my 22 song concept album. Sick. Nice. Yeah, like honestly, I'm kind of blown away by this. This is I haven't really heard anything like this on the stream. I think it's very unique, very original. You're 16 and you've been making music for 10 years. Holy fuck. That's crazy, man. This sounds fantastic. This is kind of mind blowing, honestly. You're doing a fucking fantastic. I think you definitely have a knack for this. Definitely keep doing what you're doing. This is really good. Cool intro vocal. It's kind of like, it kind of almost feels like cinematic. Very spoken word kind of thing going on, and then it goes into this kind of like random kind of bridge. But it's very interesting. Lots of kind of like random sounds, but it's kind of setting you up for the actual meat of the track, which is really cool. Feels a lot like the older random hip hop albums that I used to listen to. One that kind of comes to mind is Avalanches. If you're familiar with Avalanches, they always use like really kind of deep cut sampling, and it's kind of random, but everything really works really well. Anyways, I digress. Very nice sound selection. Very dope vocal. It's 3 stages. First is disbelief or skeptic of God. Oh, nice. So definitely there's like a concept behind this too. Yeah, I kind of pulled out some of that from the lyrics too. You definitely did a good job of like telling a story. For sure here. Very nice sound selection. The vocal is very dope. I think the vocal delivery is like basically everything here. I think you did that very well. The vocal's very clean in the mix. Overall, the mix is very clean, of course. Love the swing and the groove here on the low end. Really nice use of pauses and really nice use of your dynamic range. So they say a lot of groove is basically like not just the notes you play, but the notes you don't play. So a lot of the space and the silence in between notes. And I think you do that to great effect. Yeah, super solid arrangement. The lyrics are dope. Songwriting is very well done. Really easy to follow along. Really great delivery on the vocals. I love the main melody you're kind of playing in the background with the organ and like the keys. It's really kind of spooky and haunting. I'm really into spooky and haunting kind of shit. It's kind of like my cup of tea. But yeah, I literally have nothing bad to say about this track. I think it's really well done, and I think if the rest of your album is like this, I think you're gonna have a really fucking banging album, honestly. Yeah, this is fucking sick. Good job, Mortal Beats. Very well done. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're on a sick one. You're on a really good path. Hell yeah, brother. Nice. Hell yeah, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, man. All right. Next up, we have Lith. Do we have Lith in the chat? Yeah, no problem. No problem, Bob. Lith in the chat. Lith going once. Lith going twice. Okay, no Lith. Do we have Ripcade? Ripcade. Ripcade in the chat. Ripcade going once. Ripcade going twice. Alright, no Ripcade. And then, I guess this is the last one here. Do we have Blast X? I saw Blast X a second ago. Excuse me. Blast X. Blast X, Blast X, Blast X. Blast X going once. Oh, there you are. Cool. All right. You're going to be the last one of the night. So, yeah, let's give this one a listen here. Nice one. I love that this is like very much spooky. We're inching closer and closer and closer to spooky season. And this definitely fits that vibe, you know. This is sick. Sound design and the low end are fantastic. Very nice haunting pads in the intro. It gives me this kind of John Carpenter vibe. John Carpenter meets almost like Rob Zombie a little bit, especially when you use like these kind of like very hi-fi kind of almost like TV static in your kind of like mid sections, like these little kind of like little breaks between these little drop sections. You kind of use like this little kind of like TV hiss, or almost like a, yeah, I think that's the best way I could describe it. It sounds like a TV hiss. So it feels like it kind of feels like it's kind of pulled from a movie, almost like a horror movie. And I put that here too. The build sections very much feel like a horror movie, like you're being chased by something. And again, that feels very Rob Zombie-esque almost. The drop is huge. The kick and the snare are very nice. Really nice fills and variations. I did put here that the transition from your drop to the break section feels a little bit abrupt. It kind of just feels like it comes out of nowhere. So I think it needs to be kind of smooth a little bit more. And it happens both in the first drop and the second drop too, so. Yeah, it feels kind of abrupt, like it just kind of comes out of nowhere. So it kind of just needs to be, that transition needs to be kind of smooth a little bit better. Overall, the arrangement's super solid. Again, very nice energy in your builds, very nice energy in the drop sections. The only thing that I was going to note here is that I think you could definitely use some sort of horror movie vocal, and a lot of the, like these very kind of long pauses, especially right here in the second break, as well as like in your intro. You could probably even put vocals in these like little pockets right here as well. And funny enough, the first idea that came to my head, I don't know if you're a fan of Rob Zombie. I'm a very big fan of horror movies and Rob Zombie as well as John Carpenter, like I mentioned. But the first thing that came to mind that I was thinking of is House of a Thousand Corpses. And it's a particular phrase. I can pull up the scene right now too. It's "Run, Rabbit, Run."
Hunting humans ain't nothing but nothing. Y'all run like scary little rabbits. Run, rabbit, run. Run, rabbit. Run, rabbit. Run, rabbit.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Because it kind of adds to that adds to that tension and that kind of feeling of being chased. I think adding in a vocal like that would be really cool. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No big deal. It's your music at the end of the day. I think it would just be kind of like a nice little kind of touch in there. Especially for horror aficionados like myself. Fucking horror nerds. But yeah, this is super dope. Normally I'm not the biggest bass music fan, but I am a really big horror movie fan, so this is dope. I really dig this. Really good job, Blast X. Hell yeah. All right, we just got 2 new submissions. I'm gonna consider these the last ones of the night. Do we have Telltale in the chat? Telltale. That's you, Glory Boy? That is your Telltale? Yes, sir. Okay, and then we have Stonely here after that. If Stonely isn't here, then we'll just do Stonely. I don't think Stonely's here. And I don't know what this is. This is Air Energy. All right, if you guys are here, just say what's up. If not, I'm going to call it a night, just FYI. But first up, we're going to do Telltale's tune.
page. You got better, how do you see? You never fucking change. I can lie if you're there. You always find me in the same place. You think I don't see the way I get trying to save it. I hate this. You say you love me at the line. It don't change shit. I can't feel a thing. You drag on the pavement. Yeah, cause you do me in the worst way. Only it's so much. Only so much I can fucking say. Hit you in the hand. Baby, I carry was a fake thing. I thought you was my brother. How you do is hate. Yeah, like it don't even make sense. I thought you was my friend. How many times I fucking spot you and you think me like that? What was I trying for? Talk to me like nothing that is my fault. Why they talk to me like nothing behind my skull? Really thought they truly fuck with us. Everywhere tonight, that shit got it in it. You got better, how do you see? You never fucking change. I get always want me in the same place. You think I don't see the way I get trying to say face. Hate this. Like I feel to the page. You got better, how do you see? You never fucking change. I can lie if you're there. You always want me in the same place. You think I don't see the way I get trying to say face. Hate this. You say you love me at the line. It don't change shit. I can't feel a thing. You drag on the pavement. Yeah, cause you do me in the worst way. Only it's so much. Only so much I can fucking say. What's your name? To the page, you got better, how do you see? You never fucking change. I can lie if you're there. You always find me in the same place. You think I don't see the way I get trying to save it. I hate this. You say you love me at the line. It don't change shit. I can't feel a thing. You drag on the pavement. Yeah, cause you do me in the worst way.
Nice. I'm really digging the vocal here. It has very interesting processing on it. It kind of feels a little bit scratchy. I don't think I've really heard anything like that. It's really, really unique and very interesting. But yeah, it's cool. I like it. I dig it. Loving the intro. Really nice melodies. I'm loving the melody that you have playing underneath the vocal. Basically just a main accompaniment. It sounds very nice. It's kind of has this kind of like uplifting quality to it almost, which is very nice. Very sick drop. Again, interesting processing on the vocal. Again, it has like this kind of scratchy quality to it, which it's really cool. Really love the low end and the groove here. Overall, this is really easy to follow along with, kind of just like chill out to, vibe with. I noted here that I wouldn't put so much panning on the vocal. I would definitely keep your vocal front and center mono, because the panning kind of gets a little bit distracting. Maybe that's just me because I'm a fucking music nerd. But yeah, to me, it gets a little bit distracting because I'm like focusing so much on the panning and which direction it is that I'm kind of like distracted from the actual vocal content and the lyrics and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would keep the vocal more front and center, mono. I think if you're gonna pan anything, I would play around with like panning the hats probably. But I wouldn't put it on the vocal though, just FYI. I do like the hats and the snare as well. I do think that the snare could probably be brought up in the mix, maybe 1 to 2 dB. It sounds a little low in comparison to the kick. So yeah, I would bump up the snare a little bit more. And again, very solid arrangement, and I love all the melodies you have playing underneath. Very nice accompaniment for the vocal. Yeah, good job, Telltale. Very well done. Hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna go pee real quick. Then we got these last two to go. We got Stonely and Air Energy. All right. Do we have Stonely? Stonely in the chat. Yes, sir. Okay, Stonely, and then do we have Energy? Because he's gonna be next. Energy, Miyamoto Musashi. All right. Well, we'll give him a minute to join, anyways. Stonely, let's listen to your tune here. Nice. Yeah, this definitely has like this very emotional quality to it, which is what you want from this like style of music. Whoa, 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 whoa. Autoplay. You definitely want, some sort of emotion. You want to evoke some sort of emotion with this style of music. It's kind of reminiscent of Cigarettes After Sex a little bit. Although this is, I think Cigarettes After Sex is a little bit more. I mean, admittedly, Cigarettes After Sex is a lot more horny, but it kind of has like the same kind of quality to it. This one's definitely a lot more sad, but nothing wrong with that. You definitely want to have music that makes you feel some type of way. That's how you know you have good music. It evokes some sort of emotion into the listener. But yeah, I think overall this is really well done. Instrumentation is very well done. Loving the guitar melodies. It's very nice. It definitely adds to the overall theme, the overall vibe you got going on. Obviously, the vocal here is the standout. It's like the star of the show. Very good vocal delivery and very good processing. I think the mix here overall is very clean. Everything is, very easy to. The vocal is very present and it's very easy to kind of understand it, especially with the visual aid of the lyrics. Very easy to follow along. Songwriting is very well done. Vocal writing is also very well done. I absolutely love the backing guitar here, the one with the distortion and the reverb. It's so nice. It adds like some very nice emotional quality. Yeah, I think it's very well done. That more like electric guitar, the one with more distortion and reverb in the background, sounds very nice. It's a nice addition to the overall kind of flow and the vibe of the track. And then I'm loving the change up on the second half of the track where you kind of get a little bit more crazy with the second guitar, the backing guitar. It gets a little bit more there's more momentum, more movement. And it feels a lot more kind of like there's like this emotional payoff on that kind of second half of the track. And then there's this really nice, you kind of do a lot of like really nice bending in the outro, which is really cool. One thing here, I'm gonna just play this one section again just to double check. So it feels like something was like you hit the microphone or something. There's a little bit of a pop right here, if you can hear it. It feels like a microphone was kind of just bapped a little bit, but you can feel it in the low end. You can feel it in the low end. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what that was. Maybe it was just like you hit your mouth on the vocal on the microphone or whatever, or maybe the guitar hit the microphone or something like that. I think you're gonna have to go in and probably clean that up a little bit. It's probably a really easy fix because I'm sure most of this is recorded audio, so you probably just have to go in there and just scoop that out, whatever it is. I don't know. But yeah, that's really the only thing I noticed. If you want to get like squeaky clean with the mix, yeah, I mean, it might be kind of cool. You could also probably just do like a little bit of a quick EQ and kind of just like shave out that low end portion of there, wherever that little bap is coming from. But yeah, that's really the only thing I noticed here. Everything else here sounds fantastic. Mix is very clean. Songwriting is very well done. Vocals very well done. And I absolutely love the guitar. Guitar sounds very nice. Good job, Stonely. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. All right, do we have, lastly but not leastly, we have Energy. Yeah, no problem, man. Happy to help. Do we have Energy with Miyamoto Musashi? Bum, 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 bum. Energy going once. Going twice. Okay, no Energy. Well, I guess that's it for tonight. That's the last tune. Thanks to everybody who joined the stream. Thanks to everybody who submitted tunes. If you guys are in LA, we're playing a show in downtown on Friday. Follow me on my socials or join the Discord if you would like. Entirely up to you. I will be back again next Monday doing the live stream here on Twitch. Same time, same place. 7 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Monday night and enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you guys next week.